Welcome to the Traveling Cheesehead Podcast, where real stories, local voices, and unforgettable destinations come together. This is Destination Diaries, conversations with people who know their destinations best.
Hi friends, I'm Dannelle Gay, the Traveling Cheesehead. Travel writer, TV host, and someone who believes the best trips don't start with a bucket list, they start with a conversation. Every week, I sit down with someone who knows their destination inside and out to uncover the stories, flavors, and experiences that make it truly worth the trip. After the break, you'll meet this week's guest. So grab a cup of coffee, of course in your travel mug, and let's hit the road. Okay, we're back. So everybody buckle up. We're going to have a fun ride here. We're going to go to Kosciusko, Indiana. I think I said that right. We'll know for sure in a minute. I am so thrilled to be joined by Brooke today from Visit Kosciusko County in beautiful Indiana. So Brooke, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Did I get it right?
You were pretty close. Yeah, Kosciusko County. Everyone says it a little bit different. Some people kind of say the C that's in the middle, Kosciusko. I don't. I think it's just a preference type of thing. We kind of stole it from the Polish and made it our own.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you're here. And before we dive into the fun stuff, why don't you tell my listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do that helps make your county such a great place to visit?
Yeah, so my name is Brooke Danner. I'm the marketing and communications manager for Visit Kosciusko County. My job pretty much is just to make us look as fun as we are and to really get people to come see us. I'm born and raised in Kosciusko County, so that's something that makes it kind of easier for me. I'm already familiar with a lot that we have, but it's also a little bit challenging because some of the things that I see every day, maybe someone else would think, wow, that's really cool and exciting, and I'm just kind of used to it. So it's a really fun job. I love tourism, and it's awesome.
Yay. Let's dig into the questions here. We're going to just start with the first one. What makes your destination special? That thing that really surprises most first-time visitors, that something maybe they don't expect when they arrive, but end up talking about long after they leave.
So if you've never been to Indiana, then you've never experienced Hoosier hospitality, which that's just something that sets our entire state apart from everywhere else. Our people, and Kosciusko County is no exception to this, our people are just so kind, so welcoming, so warm. We're so ready and eager to share any tips, hidden gems. Anytime that we think someone might need help, we're always so eager to just step in and help them to find something. Also, for Kosciusko County specifically, our proximity to stuff is pretty surprising for some people. We're only like 2 hours from Chicago, a little more than 2 hours from Indy, about an hour from South Bend, hour from Fort Wayne. So very close to a lot of major things. And we have some fun, unique festivals that are always exciting for people and surprising. So just a few of those really quick. Egg Festival in Mentone, the Heirloom Tomato Festival in Pierceton, the Mermaid Festival in North Webster, and Fat and Skinny, which is held kind of throughout the entire county. The full name is Fat and Skinny Tire Festival, but it ends up being just Fat and Skinny. And that's actually a bike festival that's kind of fun.
Oh, how fun. Okay. We know that a lot of people, maybe they are, I call them the weekend warriors. You just said that, how close you are to a lot of other destinations. So you obviously have a very easy to drive to location. Let's say someone only has 48 hours to be in Kosciusko County. What would the perfect 2-day itinerary look like? The absolute must see, must do, and must experience highlights.
So if you have 48 hours in Kosciusko County, one place that you absolutely have to go is the Village at Winona, because that just really is our entire area in a nutshell. It's got everything that we kind of treasure. There's shopping, small businesses, dining, lakeside, it's right on the shore of Winona Lake. There are trails throughout the woods. It's very walkable. There's a park, there's a splash pad, there's a beach. It's got truly everything that you need to experience all in one place. And with the extra time that you have, maybe you'd want to catch a performance. So we have Wagon Wheel Center for the Arts. That is a world-class theater in the round. They do amazing performances. They bring in performers from all over the world even. It's a very competitive cast to get on. So that's incredible that we have that in our area. And then another performance that you could see is the Lake City Skiers. They are Indiana's only competitive water ski show team. So we love having them here. And then kind of fun little tidbit about them, they're actually hosting the World's competition in 2027. So bringing the top show skiers from the entire world to our little county. And that's really special. It's not something you're going to see every day. Yeah. And then just one more thing, you got to get on the water, whether that's renting a kayak or a paddleboard or going to North Webster and riding the Dixie Sternwheeler, which is a historic boat. You can do a historic tour of Webster Lake. Got to get on the water somehow.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. Now, I know you mentioned dining, and that takes us into our next question. I think food is such a huge part of travel. It ties into the past, the history, the people, the culture. What is one local food or drink visitors absolutely have to try, and where should they go to get the real deal?
All right. So this one is not contested. I'm going to be honest with you. There is one option, and there has even been legislation at the state level to try to make it our state sandwich. That's the breaded pork tenderloin. So if you're in Indiana, you got to find one. It's got to be bigger than your head and pounded super flat and very crispy and amazing, deep fried, awesome. The Fort Wayne Tin Caps, which are pretty close to us, that's a minor league baseball team. They even do a tenderloins night. So super, just a fun Indiana thing. As far as the best place to get one, I'm going to cross county lines, and I don't usually do that, but I'm going to give the flowers to Jonesy's Junction in Akron, Indiana. And they're just outside of our county lines, but they actually won an award from the Indy Star, which is like our major publication out of Indy. They do like a March Madness style competition every year, and Little Jonesy's Junction won it this past year. So very excited always for them. And yeah, as far as somewhere that's in county, I'll give one quick shout out to Oak and Alley. They always kind of elevate sandwiches. So they have a fun pork tenderloin there.
So you've got two things I want to talk about there. For people who have never seen the pork tenderloin sandwich, it is very thin, very large. I mean, you're talking plate size, if not bigger, breaded, fried, and the bun is kind of like a garnish.
Oh yeah. Yep. Some of them even come with two.
I take it off the bun, cut the bun into like fourths, and then you could cut the tenderloin up, and I just use the bun to like hold on to the tenderloin. So, I mean, it is a experience, totally an experience to eat that.
Yes, you have to have a strategy when it comes to a pork tenderloin.
But the other thing is, you like how she said across the county line. When I did that podcast in season 1, and I can link it in the show notes, and I talked about why CVBs, DMOs, why these people are so important to talk to when you're traveling, is because Google and search engines talk in pins. If you said best place to eat or get a pork tenderloin, it only looks at where you pin. Destination experts talk about the area, or they can say, if you're going to be here, you might want to just try over in the next county for this too. That's why it's so important to talk to the convention and visitor bureaus, the DMOs, all of these people who know their communities so well.
Yeah, my goal is always to get people to come to my county. But if I know that there's something amazing in the county over, I'm not going to hide that from you. I will share that with you.
See, and you're validating what I already told them all.
Yep.
And that's just it. I mean, when we travel and when we're looking for experiences, it's not just checklist type travel, it's experiences, creating memories. And you all do such a fabulous job at helping us do that. Now we're going to take a little step back in time. Tell me about a piece of history or a story from your area that most visitors don't know, but probably should.
Yeah. So something that's really cool, fun, exciting about us is that a century ago, so the 1920s, 1930s, the Barbee Hotel actually was a host for a lot of like people from Hollywood and some infamous gangsters. So because we were our close proximity to Chicago, these people would just come here for a hideaway. And some of the notable celebrities were Clark Gable and Carol Lombard. And then as far as gangsters, it was Al Capone, John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson. Al Capone even had a favorite room at the Barbee Hotel, room 301. And that was his favorite because it has a secret exit just in case. You never know what's going to happen when you're a gangster. So he had all of his bases covered there.
Well,
so,
you did say like 2 hours from Chicago, so that works out really well.
Yeah, for them, that was great. And then Dillinger actually tried to do a heist in Kosciusko County at one point. He was semi-successful. They didn't get the bank, but they were able to actually take I believe it was the sheriff at the time hostage, and they stole some things from the police station or the jail at that time. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go to the Kosciusko County Historical Society, which is in our old jail museum. They have a lot of fun artifacts, a lot of information. It's an amazing place.
How fun. How fun.
And the Barbee, I'll give a quick little thing too. It's purported to be haunted, and they think that it might be Al Capone because people often smell cigar smoke and they see figures. And so I'm not going to say here or there either way, but you might just want to check it out and see if you get a little visit from a gangster there.
Interesting. Now, is it Barbie like the Barbie doll, or is it Barbie like B-A-R-B-Y like?
It's B-A-R-B-E-E. Barbee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something. I've stayed at historic properties, and the longer a place is around, especially if you've had people who are regular residents and stuff like that, it's not too difficult to imagine them coming back and visiting again after they're no longer physically with us. So,
oh yeah, especially when it's a place where you came to relax and just hang out, you want to come back there.
And when you're smelling somebody smoking, but nobody's allowed to smoke, it kind of makes you think, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so if visitors really want to meet locals and feel a part of the community, not just pass through, where should they go, or what should they do?
So if you want to meet locals and you're not just passing through, you really would want to go to a lot of our small town festivals. So those festivals that I mentioned at the very start here when we first were talking, the Egg Festival in Mentone, that's going to be full of locals because they don't have a lot that goes on in Mentone. So when they have something going on, they all come out to try to enjoy that. And if you're on the lake, then you're going to want to find the sandbars, and you'll be able to see those pretty easily. It's where all the boats are kind of parked together and people are out enjoying that. So that's a fun place on the lake to kind of enjoy some camaraderie, meet locals. A lot of our breakfast places are very local friendly. So Eggtown Coffee, again in Mentone, I'm giving them a lot of love just because they're fun and quirky. And then there's also Creighton's Crazy Egg. It's kind of outside of Warsaw. Actually, Warsaw is our biggest city. And then ice cream, that's always a fan favorite from locals and visitors alike. You'll find just about everybody there. If you want more like nightlife type of stuff, Spikes is super fun. It's actually a beach volleyball bar, and it's mostly outdoors. They have fantastic sushi. It's connected to a restaurant called Noa Noa that gets fresh fish and sushi and things. So that's a really fun place to go too.
Wow, there's so much to unpack there. First of all, those kind of diner and breakfast places, I always love sitting at the counter because you have the best conversations if you just look left or look right and say hi. That is such a great gateway to an incredible conversation. And especially when you're visiting an area, okay, what one thing in town should I absolutely not miss? And they're going to tell you.
Mm-hmm,
usually you find yourself sitting in the middle of the guys who are there to solve all the world's problems. They meet every day at the same time. They have their same seat.
Yep.
But they're so fun. And I got to ask, an egg festival. Are we bringing eggs in? Is there egg judging? Are these colored eggs, deviled eggs? How to cook eggs? How to eat eggs? What is this festival?
So the Egg Festival, it's kind of based all around Mentone's history as a commercial egg producer. And that's, I mentioned Creighton's Crazy Egg. That is actually owned by Creighton Brothers, who is one of the leading producers, manufacturers of eggs, distributors of eggs within the Midwest and East Coast. So we have a pretty major history with eggs there. And they've celebrated that. And something that's really fun about Mentone that kind of denotes that egg history, they have a 3,000-pound concrete egg statue in the center of town. And it's painted, it calls itself the Egg Basket of the Midwest. Like, that's Mentone. And that's why I always mention them, because they're just so fun, and they're all like centered around eggs. And they're more than that. They're more than eggs. They're normal people who live a normal life, but just having that overarching theme for your community is so fun.
Absolutely. And there are certain people who they'll drive off the interstate just to get their pictures with like the world's largest things. And now I've got to add the egg. The egg's got to be added to my bucket list. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Now, road trips and all of that takes me to the fact that I know times are tight for a lot of people. They still need to get out, get away, and de-stress. But travel doesn't have to be expensive to be memorable. What is a great way to explore your area, but on a budget?
So that's something that's really awesome about us, and something that surprises a lot of people. We're just so affordable compared to any of the coast, and it's still going to give you that same kind of feeling. So I like to say we have a coastal vibe, but with a Midwest mindset and on a Midwest budget. It's still going to give you that feeling of being relaxed and having all sorts of small businesses and things, but you're not going to spend the same amount that you would if you go even to like the coast of Lake Michigan, let alone the East or West Coast. So that's really fun and exciting about us. I love that we are an affordable destination. And just a few things to do, like we had just talked about the Mentone egg. That's a great photo op. You can just go and see it, see that community. It's a small town. Everything there is so affordable. They have a fantastic bookshop that I love. It's called Pete and Freddie's Pages of Plenty. It's right next door to Eggtown Coffee, so you can get a coffee, and he makes awesome homemade cookies. Like, it just feels like you're at home in Mentone. And I talk about them all the time. I'm a Mentone elementary school graduate, I guess. Like, I'm from that area. So that's why I give them all sorts of love. But there are just so many other things too. Like I had mentioned earlier, the old jail museum, that's completely free. Of course, they love if you're able to donate, but even like our historical society, they know everything there is to know about our county, and it's completely free. There's a wealth of knowledge just waiting there for you to tap. We also have, just in our county, so many trails, so many lakes, just nature in general. All of that is completely free and ready for you to explore. The Lake City skiers that I mentioned earlier too, their shows are completely free every Tuesday and Sunday. They put on a free show, and that's amazing for them to be our Indiana's only water ski show team. And they put on a free show just to practice and to allow the community to enjoy it. That's such an amazing asset for us. I had also mentioned the Dixie Sternwheeler. That's less than $10 for the historic ride. It's a fun cruise. They play historic music to go along with it. It's kind of like ragtime type music.
Oh, how fun.
It's just an amazing experience. And to see the sunset over the lake while you're on the Dixie, you're just not going to beat that. Another awesome free way to explore our county is something that actually the Visitors Bureau created, and they're these passports, we call them. So it provides you more or less with like an itinerary of things that you can do and explore. And then you can check in at the locations that are on these passports. And again, that's completely free for you to use the passport. And at the end of it, if you check in at so many locations, you can redeem that for a prize. So it's something that we like to do and just try to give people a way to explore.
Those passports are right on your website. There's like a trailblazer, breakfast trail, taco trail, sipping
Yep.
trail, public art trail. So, I mean, that's right on your website. Very easy to see.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
and like we tried really hard to make it kind of all encompassing. There's a passport no matter what you're interested in. We have the sip and savor ones like you mentioned, taco, sipping, breakfast. We added an ice cream trail last year. That one was so
Ooh.
much fun. Everyone loved it. And then like you also said those challenge passports, so waterways, trailblazer, public art, that one has all of our like murals, sculptures. It makes everything a lot easier to find. Maybe it's just all in one place. So whether you want to actually use the passport and check in or not, it's still going to provide you with that fun, easy itinerary to know where everything is.
Fabulous. I've done a podcast in season 1, because we're in season 2 now, that talked about travel themes and how to figure out your travel theme. Everybody, I'm going to link that again in the show comments with some of the other fun things in here, but because those trails sound like it's just perfect. If you know your travel theme, you know what trail you want to pick. And then when we talked about supporting themes, so if you're a history buff who likes food or a foodie who likes outdoor experiences, you know exactly which trails that you want to hone in on when you're in Kosciusko County.
Yep.
I got it. Okay. Now, oh my gosh, this is going so fast today. What is your favorite only here experience? Something visitors truly can't do anywhere else but in your destination.
I've already mentioned several of these, but I'll just say them again. The Mentone egg, that's like one of there. So I like to say it's the largest in the world. There is another one in, I think, Oregon that gives us a run for our money. I'm not 100% sure which one's the largest, but it's contested. Either way, it's amazing to see. So the Mentone egg is definitely a must-see. The Lake City Skiers, they're our only competitive water ski show team in Indiana, so they are absolutely a must-see attraction. The Dixie Sternwheeler, it's Indiana's oldest sternwheel excursion boat, and it just underwent a massive renovation this past year to make sure that she's seaworthy for another 100 years, because she's over 100 years old at this point. And other only here thing, it's just Hoosier hospitality. Like I started with, you're not going to get that somewhere else. The people here are just, it's next level how excited we are to welcome visitors and to share everything that we know to make sure that you get the best experience and that you're ready to come back before you even leave.
I can attest to that. I mean, I've been traveling as a travel writer back and forth in different areas of Indiana for the last 10 years, and everybody, every community, absolutely fabulous.
Yeah. And another amazing thing about our community and just like our location where we are, where we're lucky to be, we're home to the largest and the deepest natural lakes in all of Indiana. Those are glacial lakes, just like the Great Lakes, but a little bit smaller. But Lake Wawasee is the largest and Lake Tippecanoe is the deepest. So it's awesome that those are both within our county bounds.
So I'm going to throw one last little thing in here, kind of like a tagline. You haven't been to Kosciusko County unless you have what?
I would say you haven't been to Kosciusko County until you've experienced a sunset over one of our lakes, or I couldn't decide, or you've pedaled and paddled your way through it. Because people come here to experience our nature, our lakes that I just mentioned, our trails. We have a little bit of everything. And we like to say the place to live, work, and play is clearly Kosciusko. Our brand is clearly Kosciusko. So we're always excited to welcome visitors, and maybe you'll want to move here.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much, Brooke, for sharing your local expertise and insider tips with us today. It has been an absolute pleasure learning more about Kosciusko County, and I'm sure our listeners are ready to plan their next adventure.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, listeners, if you're ever in Kosciusko County, Indiana, be sure to check out the different things that she talked about, and oh my gosh, the egg, the lake, all sorts of fun things here. It sounds like total must-do type experiences. So in the show notes, I will have a lot of links in there so you can stay connected with them. You can follow her ideas, more updates, travel tips, and local stories all about that area. So thank you again, Brooke. I really appreciate you, and I was really happy to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
If today's conversation made you think, yeah, I want to go there, then we have done our job.
You've been listening to the Traveling Cheesehead Podcast. Subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your best travel buddies. Check back for another Destination Diaries episode every week. Thanks for listening. This has been a Traveling Cheesehead production.
I'm Dannelle Gay, reminding you that adventure doesn't always mean far away. Sometimes it's just one great story away. See you on the road beyond the exits.